Good evening, everyone. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Hannah Alcoseba Fernandez, and I'm the Chief Correspondent for the Philippines for Eco Business. And thank you. And it's a privilege for me to represent the editorial team as I host this part of the program, which is the main, most awaited portion of the ceremony. A very warm welcome once again to those who are joining us online on LinkedIn Live and who are awaiting the unveiling of this year's winners in Sustainability Leadership A-List Awards. This year marks the 5th year that we're using this precious platform to recognize the outstanding achievements of sustainability leaders across government, business, and civil society in Asia Pacific. We appreciate all the time you put in your nominations, and this year we received more than 100 nominations across 10 countries, including Singapore. Our distinguished panel of judges were asked to evaluate how effective these nominees' contributions were over the past 12 months, how effective their contributions were in driving change, their influence and leadership in delivering real-world impact, as well as whether their work focuses on a unique and often neglected set of problems or challenges. It was not an easy task deciding and narrowing down their choices, and we'd like to first recognize the 4 Sustainability Leadership A-List judges that we have with us today. So thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedules to assess and select our 10 A-List winners. They are Ramnath Iyer, Lead Sustainable Finance Asia of AIFA, Suyen Wong, Board Director, Singapore Institute of Directors, S. Vishwanathan, Professor of Operations and Corporate Sustainability, Nanyang Business School, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. And last but not the least, Tom Brostowski, Singapore Country Director, The Nature Conservancy. They're in the audience tonight, so if you'd like to give a little wave so that we can acknowledge you further. So thank you, Ramnath, Suyen, as well as Professor Vish and Tom. We're very grateful for your time and support. I'd like to kick off the presentation ceremony by introducing our strategic partner for A-List 2023, RGE Group. In a moment, we will have RGE's Director for Sustainability and External Affairs, April Group, and Pride of the Philippines, Lucita Jasmin, on stage with us. Before that, we would like to play a video. RGE would like to play a video for everyone.
As one of the biggest producers of sustainably managed resources, what we do at RGE impacts lives globally every day. This is why we need to get things right from the start. By replacing plastics with eco-friendly materials to produce biodegradable products that are consumed by billions of people. By adopting alternative, innovative solutions to fuel our activities. And by using technology to achieve better yield and greater efficiency. Over the years, we've learned that sustainability not only makes good business sense, it guides the decisions we make. While we produce, we also protect. So we started the Riau Ecosystem Restoration Initiative 10 years ago. Today, we're conserving 150,000 hectares of vital peat forest in Sumatra, Indonesia, an area that is the size of London. Our goal is to conserve 1 hectare of natural forest for every hectare of plantation. Globally, we're accelerating our efforts to contribute to a greener planet. In China, we're producing Finex fiber with 50% recycled materials, with a goal of 100% by 2030. In Brazil, we've built the world's first fossil fuel-free pulp mill. In Indonesia, Asia-Pacific Rayon has been 100% powered by renewable energy since 2020. In Canada, we're building the world's first net zero LNG export facility. And we're partnering with CEPSA in Spain to use agricultural waste as feedstock for sustainable aviation fuels. Because we believe that right starts here. RGE.
May I please now welcome on stage Lucita Jasmin, Group's Director for Sustainability and External Affairs, April Group.
Senior Minister of State for Sustainability and Environment, Kopo Kun, distinguished guests, this evening's awardees, the unstoppable Jessica and her remarkable team, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to everyone. It is a privilege to speak to you before you this evening and to recognize the hard work, perseverance, and extraordinary commitment of tonight's sustainability leadership and A-list awardees. Before I go any further, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the valuable contribution and achievements of Jessica and the eco-business team from their establishment since 2009. Eco-business serves as a platform for amplifying the Asian sustainability agenda. They enable us to have a voice in these important global conversations. Often, eco-business does not just stop at giving objective coverage. It also offers a critical lens to review businesses and government sustainability performance. We've had a few uncomfortable conversations with them in the past, but we do welcome scrutiny as a company, and we recognize that the scrutiny is fundamental to accountability. So I represent RGE, a group of resource-based manufacturing businesses that contribute to an increasingly advancing global bioeconomy. We are headquartered here in Singapore, and the businesses can be grouped into two key clusters. Bio-based resources, which include pulp and paper, palm oil, dissolving pulp and viscose. And then there's cleaner energy, which includes natural gas, solar power, and sustainable aviation fuel. With assets exceeding $35 billion, the operations and markets span the globe with over 70,000 employees worldwide. In my role as a sustainability director, I oversee the sustainability policies and initiatives at April. I ensure that we set, meet, and deliver on our sustainability commitments and 2030 targets. And I also support the other business groups in the fiber sector of RGE. April is one of the largest producers of bio-based products that include fiber, pulp, paper, viscose, and paperboard. And all of these are made from 100% plantation wood. We operate large-scale plantation forestry and manufacturing operations in Indonesia. We've had a no-burn policy since 1994. We published our first sustainability report following GRI in 2004, the first in Indonesia and likely in the region. And we have been a member of the UN Global Compact since 2006. We've committed to no deforestation since June 2015 as part of a broader sustainable forest management policy, which continues to be subject to independent oversight and annual third-party assurance. As we continue to evolve our sustainability approach, allow us to take this opportunity to share some key insights gained from 2 decades of implementing sustainability in the business. Many of us here in the room would be acutely aware that what we're facing as a global community is a twin crisis of climate and nature loss. We've heard people say nature needs to be the next climate. By that they mean nature needs to catch up in terms of the level of ambition and commitments that climate has gained so far. At the same time, it is estimated that about 120 million people in ASEAN still live below poverty line. Of this number, 26 million people are in Indonesia. So clearly, climate ambitions cannot be set in isolation. It is crucial to take a holistic approach, and as a company operating in a developing economy, we've long learned that social is always the other side of the environmental coin. Many of the environmental challenges that we face are in fact rooted in socioeconomic drivers. So recognizing these dependencies and the need to adopt an integrated approach, in 2020 we launched our April 2030 Sustainability Agenda. And this comprises 4 commitment pillars and 18 targets across climate, nature, people, and business growth. Our key climate targets include achieving net zero emissions from land use and increasing the share of renewables in our energy balance to 90% in manufacturing and 50% in forestry operations. At the same time, we have targets of zero net loss of protected areas, conserving a hectare of natural forest for every hectare that we planted, and allocating $1 to conservation for every ton of fiber supplied to the mill. And this roughly would translate to up to $15 million annually. And as of 2023, that allocation to conservation has grown to about $47 million. We are currently managing around 370,000 hectares of conservation and restoration areas. That would be roughly around 5 times the area of Singapore. And this is all part of what we call our production protection model. The other insight that we've learned operating in Indonesia is that biodiversity protection and conservation can only happen if we enable the development of sustainable livelihood opportunities, and if we make conservation a viable livelihood proposition for the local communities. If we do not provide sustainable livelihood options, we are not addressing the root drivers of biodiversity loss. So we also adopted the target of eliminating extreme poverty up to 50 kilometers from our mill concession boundaries. And this we will do through education, livelihood development, and also aiming to reduce the prevalence of stunting among children in the province of Riau by up to 50%. So this is how we've adopted this integrated approach in our 2030 agenda. Another insight we'd like to share is best captured in this now popular African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This for us is a reminder of the importance of partnerships and collaborations if we are to achieve scale and impact with our initiatives. Sustainability-led transformation is most powerful when the responsibility is dispersed across the value chain and stakeholder networks. Partnerships, both internally and externally, are essential to knowledge gain and capability building. In Singapore, RGE is partnering with the Nanyang Technological University to develop first-of-its-kind recycling technology to turn textile waste into sustainable fiber. The RGE NTU Sustainable Textile Research Center is a 5-year research collaboration to accelerate innovation in textile recycling that can be deployed in urban settings such as Singapore. The technology to use recycled textile already exists. The challenge is mainly in terms of securing the feedstock and establishing a collection infrastructure. So this research will go a long way in piloting that in Singapore. Another collaboration is with the Center for Nature-Based Climate Solutions at the National University of Singapore. This is about developing remote sensing methodology to generate carbon flux data over huge areas quickly and affordably. This will help address concerns on integrity and credibility of the nature of natural climate solutions. Apart from partnerships with global NGOs like the Fauna and Flora International, the Wildlife Conservation Society, and the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation, we also initiated community conservation partnerships. And these are with the local villages in Indonesia. Currently, these partnerships span 35,000 hectares. And again, we can only go far if we bring everyone along. Now, just zooming out into the region, our group is deeply rooted in Asia, and we firmly believe that our region can own the sustainability agenda. This is our opportunity for leadership. Today, the Asian share of global GDP is now about 54%, whereas Europe and North America combined now roughly accounts for 33%. So this is an extraordinary change over a remarkably short period of time. We have 4.7 billion people living in our part of the world. That's 60% of the global population. But having said that, we are also at the midpoint towards the 2030 target year of the Sustainable Development Goals. And a recent UN study shows that the Asia-Pacific region has only reached 14% of the progress that is required for us to achieve the 17 goals by 2030. And if we go with the same trajectory, we will miss 90% of the targets by 2030. So we need to be doubling down on our efforts. Clearly, we have an urgency to act, but also a great opportunity to steer our growth to a more sustainable trajectory. In RGE, we are starting to see sustainability as a strategy for growth and transformation. The group's shift towards sustainable aviation fuel and solar energy generation signals many possibilities for future growth in the renewable energy sector. We are also committed to raising 100% of our financing via sustainability-linked loans. In April, our growth is largely through downstream diversification, such as viscose and paperboard, where we are able to expand our production capacity without needing to expand our plantation footprint. Our target is to get 50% more productivity from the same land bank by 2030. And this is how we are striving to decouple our business growth from any further risks of deforestation. In closing, sustainability is clearly a collective undertaking. And but at the same time, we do need lighthouses that also show us that while many of the challenges are complex, they are not impossible. The people we celebrate this evening have overcome any number of challenges to demonstrate leadership and deliver change. And they should all be congratulated for their remarkable work and perseverance. As we honor our sustainability leaders, I invite us all to be reminded of an excerpt from a quote from Theodore Roosevelt, and he said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, and who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and who himself spends in a worthy cause." So to this year's Sustainability Leadership A-List winners, congratulations again, and thank you for choosing to be in the arena with the rest of us. Thank you very much. Let us enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll be careful. I know.
Hello. Thank you so much, Lucita, for the very inspiring speech and for highlighting that it's necessary to have scrutiny. It's necessary for accountability if we want to go forth with our sustainability agenda. And thank you also for highlighting the need to celebrate pioneers and changemakers, which is what the Sustainability Leadership A-List seeks to do. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet our Sustainability Leadership A-List 2023 winners. We present to you the winners of the Sustainability Leadership A-List 2023. Celine is an Indigenous rights activist. Her commitment to non-confrontational activism and to protect Sarawak's forests helped her organization galvanize support against the defamation lawsuit, hailed as a win for conservation NGOs.
One of the many things that inspired me to continue this incredible human experience, being so close to nature, so close to the environment.
VJ's energy startup uses cutting-edge technology to generate power efficiently for industrial plants, potentially accelerating grid-scale renewables adoption in India and the United States.
Hope for a better future for humanity. A hope that our kids would one day inherit a planet that is healthy, sustainable, nurturing.
Under Mayor Joy's leadership, Quezon City's residents can now trade in their recyclables for food and electricity incentives under a trash-to-cashback scheme. The city is at the forefront of the Philippines' fight against plastic pollution.
Among the hardest aspects of the job is to be able to convince the people of our city that caring for the environment should be one of the top items in our agenda.
Mahesh works with the Nepali government and health administrators to enhance the country's healthcare waste management and provide guidance on building climate-resilient hospitals on Nepal's difficult terrain.
What pushes me on this? Satisfaction of training a generation of leaders who can take on the challenges of sustainable development.
Cherry is an agricultural activist whose work to pioneer new concepts and models for poverty alleviation has helped vulnerable farmers in the poorest provinces of the Philippines improve their livelihoods.
For me, as a person, it's humanity. Humanity pushed me to really do more. As a business person, do more. As a person who really cares for the farmers.
Eric has been a vocal proponent of financing the transition of companies at varying stages of their sustainability journeys.
The enthusiasm from my colleagues. Everyone wants to work for a good company and create positive impact. And that inspires me to do my best every single day.
Krista is one of the world's first few chief heat officers, a role created to help cities adapt to scorching heat waves. She is pioneering new heat protection measures and leading Melbourne's efforts to become a net zero emission city by 2040.
I get a lot of inspiration for seeing the leadership that is in place around the world, particularly in cities.
Felix has harnessed the power of climate data and analytics to help the Philippines' businesses and government strengthen their disaster preparedness plans.
My team members are very passionate in solving real problems in terms of climate resilience and sustainability.
Ida has devoted her time to helping smallholders implement deforestation-free practices to comply with global standards and ensuring that they get fair treatment with better access to markets.
Hopefully, the market, consumer companies, producer companies can now work together with government, scientist communities, and smallholders to create deforestation-free landscape.
Under Kate's leadership, global real estate company Lendlease has pushed hard to get its industry peers to expand their decarbonization efforts by tackling Scope 3 emissions and sharing their emissions data.
It's absolute zero. It's our smallest target, but our biggest challenge. To me, it's a race to secure the future, where no one wins unless we all win together.
All of them have displayed foresight, passionate leadership, and commitment to the sustainability agenda. Beautiful video that sums up the impactful work of our winners. May we now call once again Lucita on stage to present certificates to the winners. Yes, for sure. Yes, of course. And now may we have our main A-list winners to join us on stage. The winners will be presented with their certificate and gifted a personalized hand-created notebook from Singapore's local craftsman, Bine Artisan. Okay, with us tonight is Mahesh Nakarmi, founding chairperson and executive director of HECAF 360, all the way from Nepal. Two of our A-list winners who can't be here with us tonight have kindly sent representatives to collect the awards on their behalf. May we invite them on stage? Now, for Eric Lim, Chief Sustainability Officer of UOB, we have representing him Ms. Kellen Tan, Head of Corporate Sustainability at UOB. And for Kate Harris, Group Head of Sustainability Lend-Lease, we have Joel Chen, Lend-Lease's Head of Sustainability in Asia, with us tonight on her behalf. Okay. Let's get a photo of, along with Mahesh. Mahesh, may we kindly call you back on stage so we can have a photo with all the winners. Thank you. We would like to also acknowledge and celebrate the winners who could not be here in person with us. They include those that are based across the region in my hometown in the Philippines. Some are from Indonesia and from Australia. Some of them are viewing the awards online. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you for all the work you've done, blazing the trail for sustainability.